Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about coming up with a color scheme by using professional palettes, professionally chosen colors by using several different free websites that will allow you to choose colors that work well in designs together. All right, the first one I'd like to investigate is on a website called coolers.co, and there are a bunch of different color palettes. And what I want you to do is spend some time playing around with this and finding what color palettes you like. Right now, I'm just on the popular color palettes, but there are trending or the latest, the newest. And you could even search for palettes that have primarily certain colors like blue or green, or even have a style there. It's warm, cold, bright, dark, etc. if you want to filter out certain palettes. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to choose one of these first ones. Now, I will show you some of these websites allow you to actually save these palettes, which we're not going to do it that way because it doesn't always work, but I will show this if you'd like to look at it. If I wanted to save this one in the middle, I can actually click the three dots and click on Export Palette. Now, what I would probably choose on this one, honestly, is use SVG, since we are using a vector-based program called Gravit. SVG is Scalable Vector Graphics, and this actually allows you to bring in your swatches already as vector pathed squares, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to show you a technique that will work with the other websites I have that don't allow you to save them. We're actually just going to use the snipping tool, or in my case, or in your case on a Chromebook, you're going to use the screenshot. So you're going to take a screenshot of whatever palette you choose, scroll through and make sure you find a style that you like, and screenshot on a Chromebook again is Control Shift Show Windows, which is above the 6 on your keyboard. But I'm going to use snipping tool, so let me go ahead and pull that up. Actually, I already have it snipped, but let me just click new. The way it works on a PC is it goes to dark just like yours, and you're going to click and drag around the palette that you want. I'm going to click and drag. Now on a PC, when you snip something, it automatically saves it to a clipboard. You then, after you do your screenshot, actually need to click copy to clipboard, and what you're going to do is try to come over to your Gravit document, and we're going to paste it going Control V, or under File, I'm sorry, Edit, Paste, Control V right there. Now, some of you did comment that on your Chromebooks you are not able to paste, but when you take a screenshot on a Chromebook, it actually saves it to your Google Drive, so we could insert it if you can't paste it. And the way you're going to do that is going to go to File, Import, Place Image. Now, on your Chromebook, what you're going to want to do is it'll go to your Google Drive, and you'll be able to find the palette, the screenshot that you saved. I saved mine on my desktop to find it easily. Yours would just be in your Google Drive, and I'm going to click on palette 1 is what I saved it as. All right, so these are the colors that I'm going to use, but I need to first convert them into actual usable squares with this color. So for this assignment, what I do want you to do is to create, in this case, I have a color selection of 5 colors. I'm going to go to my rectangle, hold Shift to get a perfect square, and I'm going to draw myself 5 squares. I drew the first one, Control C, Control V, and let's move that right down. Let's use our guidelines to keep them straight. To make things quicker, let's grab both of these and go Control C, Control V, and it's going to copy both of them. They are evenly spaced. And the last one, you can go Control C, Control V, but also do know if you hold the Alt key while you're dragging, hold the Alt, and you click and drag, and it copies at the same time. All right, so let's go ahead and change this first square to this first red swatch. And the way we're going to do this is select the first square, come over to our fill option. We're not going to click on the circle that allows us to choose the color. We're actually just going to go to the eyedropper tool that's right next to it. Click on the eyedropper, and it's going to pick up that color. It's going to pick up whatever color you are hovering over, and that's the first one's red. Second one, eyedropper. Go to the second swatch. Let's go to the third square, eyedropper, and go to the third one, and so forth, and we want to finish this. Now, the reason I'm having you create these squares is because we can now add them. They are now on our, we have a swatch toolbar that has these colors with us. So let's look at this. If you also now wanted to click on this, the color picker, right here, it has where you can have all types of colors. You could choose anything up here, all these different hue and saturations, or these swatches down here, or it automatically also filters out only the swatches, only the colors that you are already using. So these are the 4 colors I have on my page. It does not recognize this JPEG image. It only recognizes these colors right here. As you can see, the blue and the dark blue are not here. So again, if I click on this square, come to my color picker, and come to in use, you could see it's only these ones that have now created the squares. So you would want to create squares for these next two, for the next 2 colors on these 5. All right, so that's how you get it set up. Let me take a moment to go through some of these other websites. These I will put in the comments for you to click on and play with. I do like this Canva website because it actually has a lot of education about what it means to be a complementary color to colors that are on the opposite side of the color wheel. Monochromatic, there are 3 shades, there are tones and tints of the same, of one base color. So this would be your palette. Analogous, there are 3 colors that are side by side on a color wheel, so they're kind of brothers and sisters right there next to each other, and so forth. What it means to be triadic, 4 colors, and so forth. And it actually gives a little information about being a primary and secondary color if you want to read about that. But on the Canva, you can make your choice right here, whether you want analogous. Let's go monochromatic, which will be colors that have similar shade, and you can just slide this around and you could see your 2 colors right here. But I think on this website, I like the analogous option because you can slide it in or out and varying the saturation of color. So this would be what you'd want to screenshot right here. This is a really nice website also. Adobe obviously makes all professional products, but same thing, analogous, monochromatic, complementary colors. And it's really kind of cool because you grab the circle with a little triangle and move this around. And here will give me not just 2 complementary colors, but kind of like a range. And you could slide these in and out. And um, the same thing with this. These are analogous colors, and you don't have to use all of them, but let's slide this over here. And the nice thing about the Adobe site is you could actually change, it gives you the color values, not just in RGB, which is what you see on a monitor, but CMYK, which is for actually printing, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K, or you could also do it on hue, saturation values also. But this is actually very useful in the printing world that you can get these color values for the cyan 89, 82%, 04 for the CMYK, which we'll talk more about later. And they actually give these, which is nice on the Adobe website. If you want to find more, all I did is just click on, go to Google, typed color palette picker, and there's all kinds. I think there's color palette generator from an image where you could actually upload an image and it will find some of the colors that are most prevalent in that image and come up with a palette that matches that image, which is really kind of cool also. So again, hopefully this helped in taking a color palette from any of those websites, pasting it, and then creating your swatches into squares. All right, let me know if you have any questions.